sure too.
And
yeah.
can you tell us, would there be government matches to the money that goes into the savings account? And could it be spent in public and private?
Yes. What I'm talking about doing in terms of college savings accounts is basically the exact same thing that we've done in Cuyahoga County, which is we start the fund, we set it up. If somebody wants to opt out of it, they can opt out of it, but it's automatic, basically, enrollment in it, which is why we have, which is why it's going to be the largest pool of college savings accounts in the country, even though it's just one county. But it is 10% of the state. We put a deposit down of $100 just to get the account started. You are not allowed to take that money out except for an approved educational purpose. So I can just answer that question right now, because people say, well, what if the kid gets it when they're 5 or 6 years old and they want to take it out right away for something frivolous? Can't do it. So it has to be an approved expense. Now, we leave open whether or not we would make additional matches in the future, but we start with $100. And the other thing that's important about this is it's part of financial literacy education that the school districts can provide. Every single public school district, and there's dozens of them in my county, all signed on to work with this and help incorporate it with their curriculum. Just think about for a teacher, because we consulted with teachers before we implemented this program. Think about how much more powerful it is to be able to tell a child not just, well, here's the value of $1 and here's the way financial literacy works. Think about how much more powerful it is when every single child in the class can pull up their account online and say, this is how my account is gaining interest. So it's basically taking the same thing. We don't make a limitation on whether it's a public or private institution. We also don't say whether or not it's just for public school kids or private school kids. And we don't say whether it's just a poverty program. Because one of the problems with our educational loan programs have been they have an artificial cutoff of what they say should be the income level at which somebody gets help. And it just, a lot of people end up falling through the cracks. So we've made it completely universal. Just like K through 12 education is universal, we need to start looking at making higher education more universal, not just the profits of the wealthy.
Who can contribute to that Cuyahoga plan?
I'm sorry?
Who can contribute to the account?
Any parent and anyone that the parent gives permission to. So it can be the child themselves, it can be an uncle, it can be a grandparent, and we're going to be announcing some more things. What it allows you to do is also to incentivize certain behavior now. So for instance, there could be deals, and we're talking to some colleges right now about whether they would match the savings that is in the plans. But anyone that's approved by the child's guardian can make a deposit into the account.
How much would it cost? Where's that coming from?
Well, for that part of the program, it's actually very affordable. You know, we cover 10% of the state for $2 million. That includes all the deposits and all the administrative costs. So if you take that times 10, you're talking about something that in a $60 billion plus budget is extremely affordable. The biggest dollar item in our plan is just restoring that need-based financial aid, which we estimate would be about another $160 million or so. So you're talking about all of these initiatives are far less than the tax giveaways that have been given out to the wealthiest people in Ohio in the last few years.
Is that how they repay for you would end those taxes?
No, I didn't say I'd end it. What I'd said is that every single time that we get money that is above projections, you have to express that through what your priorities are. And my priorities, as I've always said, is to restore the local government fund first and foremost, and start to restore education funding that's been cut.